Today's first topic is about Thandie Newton apologising for not representing darker-skinned actresses on screen. Mm-hmm. Now, when I first read this story, well, when I was about to read it, when I read the headline, I was like,
"But you're not darker skinned,
right?
So how can you represent them?"
Right. It's common sense questions, but let's go into the article. The article comes to us via IndieWire, and it says. Newton previously talked about being basically rejected by Black Hollywood for not being black enough at the IndieWire studio out of Sundance. Thandie Newton is issuing an apology for colorism in Hollywood. The God's Country star spoke out against prejudice in an interview with Sky News via The Independent UK. My internalized prejudice was stopping me from feeling like I could play this role when it's precisely that prejudice that I have received, Newton said of starring in a 2022 Sundance film based on James Lee Burke's short story about an older white man. Newton continued through tears to say, "I am sorry that I'm the one chosen over darker-skinned actresses. It's been very painful to have women look like my mum feel like I am not representing them," Newton said. That I'm taking from them, taking their men, taking their work, taking their truth. I didn't mean to. The Westworld star previously addressed the colorism she has faced in casting discussions as a biracial British woman. In an April 2021 British Vogue cover story, Newton recalled director John Duigan asking her, "Can you be a bit darker? Be darker by Monday." After which she spent the weekend covered in coconut oil, frantically bronzing. I know. Newton, who later landed the part in Duigan's Flirting, said colorism has just been the funniest. I've been too black, not black enough. I'm always black. I'm just like, what do you people want? When reflecting on race in America, Newton exclusively told IndieWire's Eric John, as part of the IndieWire studio presented by Adobe, that she had a breakdown with the Black Lives Matter movement. "I was basically rejected by Black Hollywood for not being black or Black American," the British-born star said. "But who says Black Lives Matter is just about American people? I thought it was for every black person. As a black person, there are so many places to be betrayed. It's just constant." Newton added that God's Country was an extraordinary opportunity for a black actress, which Newton didn't feel like I'd give to it due to her skin tone. "I'm a light-skinned woman, and I know that really rubs people the wrong way in the United States because I've lived that," Newton said. "White people with pale skin who fight so hard for people with dark skin, and I know those people, it's one of the most beautiful things." Obviously it's a really good story, but I picked this story also because you being biracial, but I would say a black man, right? Mm-hmm. You would have a lot of.
I've got a lot to say.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Would you like to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thandie. The thing is, I hear her. There's a lot of conflict. In being light-skinned. And that's not even just being mixed race. Because as you know, two dark-skinned people
can have a light skin.
Yeah. I've got friends that both their parents are as dark as you. Mm-hmm. They're as light or lighter than me.
Same, man.
So people automatically say, "Oh yeah, you're mixed race." So obviously in the UK, growing up mixed race was difficult at times because what she says, you're not black enough.
Yeah.
And
sorry to cut you. This is why I thought her saying it's a uniquely American problem.
It's not.
Because do you remember back in the day when we were children, and I don't use this as offense, I'm just referencing it. Because even as a kid, I did it. Yeah. When they'll call you half caste.
Yeah, but I think I called myself half caste.
Because like you just wasn't aware of what it meant.
Didn't know the connotation.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. So it's like, what colour are you? And my mum would say, "Well, you're black." So I tell people I'm black. And they're like, "Well, you're not proper black though, are you?" Do you know what I mean? So what does proper black mean?
Yeah.
You know, so there was them things in the beginning. So you got the white guys that see you as black. And then you got the black guys that don't see you black enough as black. You know, so sometimes you're a bit there. So it's like people think, almost like white privilege, that you're a bit privileged because you're light skinned.
A lot of the black people, I
and I'm not going to pretend at certain points in life that wasn't true. Because if you think of Thandie, a UK actress, there were many dark-skinned actresses, but she was the beginning of it. So she did get in by, by being light. She got in by being light. You know, that was her USP. Like, oh, well, you know, she's a bit ethnic, but she she's not too black.
She's light enough to,
So it's positive discrimination. That's what she got on. No, but that's what
positive for her.
That's what it's called, positive discrimination. Like, say for they want to fill a quota, right? We need one Asian and 2 black guys, and they bring you in. So, do you know what I mean? So they bring you in. That's positive discrimination. So the point I'm making is, I hear what she's saying. Because obviously she was in the early doors as well.
That's true.
Where people weren't educated as to know that whether they was dark as you, light as me, we both in the fields. We both slaves. When the police say, I can see an IC3 male, they don't say, well, I can see a light-skinned guy. There's no...
You're black.
Right. A black guy robbed me. What did he look like? I don't know. He was black. Do you know what I mean? That's all I know. Do you know what I mean? So...
Well, what do you... Yeah, but here's another thing. So that's one side of it. What do you think about her comments issuing an apology for not represent? Because you said it in the beginning of this segment that how can you represent dark-skinned women? Like, how can you apologize for something that you can't represent anyway?
Well, this is it. I think she's had some sort of internal struggle herself, and maybe it's almost like imposter syndrome. That, you know, I think she's going through something or other.
I think you're right, because if you notice, remember, Thandie is what she was known as in the industry. She's just recently changed her name to the full proper, I think it's Zimbabwe, her mum's from, or something.
That's her proper name.
Which is Thandie or something like that, which they shortened to Thandie.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which I get.
So you're probably right. She probably is going through something at the moment. You know.
She had to do what she had to do to get in the scene. She's been in the scene. And I do think maybe she could have done more. Like, I don't see... No, when I say more, I mean, like, bringing in... She's not... If she feels a certain way, she's not representing what she feels in her films, in what she's choosing to be in, if you know what I mean. Like, she's just... Thandie, light-skinned woman in there. So what are you bringing?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so when you go into a film, you're bringing you. Like, you're Larry, you're ethnic, you're African. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know any, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
What is she representing?
I hear you. But I think a lot of this is generally speaking, not in the acting industry, but I think a lot of biracial children experienced, and this is what the right used to use as to why they shouldn't be biracial relationships. They used to have a conflict. Do I take more of the white side of things? Do I take some more of the black side of things? And it's kind of decided for you most of the time because, like you said, most people will see you as black. Okay, the black people might see you as black enough, but you're still black. The white people ain't going to see you as white.
I'm never going to be white.
You're not going to be white.
I'm never going to be white.
You are not white.
Right.
You are not.
My head is pitchy and my hair is coarser than yours.
Right. So, and as a father of a biracial child, like my missus is Brazilian and she's mixed race. Right. I can see the problems. Right. But my thing with Thandie and what she said was, as I said before, how can you represent something that you're not? That's like me saying I want to represent all light-skinned people. I'm not light-skinned. I can't represent you.
No.
You know what I mean? That's like you saying you want to represent all dark-skinned people. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, you're black, but you're not dark-skinned.
Yeah.
So I don't see the sense in what she said. And as you said, I 100% agree with you. She's going through something, hence the name change and whatnot. And I hope she can reconcile herself with whatever she's going through. But again, when she kind of brings the fault onto her about colorism. Yeah. Right? But what she's got to remember is that's out of her control. Yeah. She doesn't pick who gets to have the roles. No. Do you know what I mean? All you're doing as an actor is going up for a role. You want to work as an actor.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Right. It's not up to you. That's like me and you going up for the same role. You getting a role, you then finding out you got the role because you're a bit lighter, and then you apologising. Well, you didn't make the decision, blood. What are you apologising for? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the feeling that I get from her, and I'm like, you don't need to be apologising.
Yeah, you don't need to apologise.
It's out of your control, and you're crying, and I think sometimes, and don't get me wrong, yes, there is an issue with colorism. Yes, there is an issue with, the whole race thing. Not just in acting, but in general. But I think sometimes some people, including the ones that mean well, like Thandie, make a bigger issue out of it than it actually is. And I'm hearing myself say that. Yeah. And I don't like saying that because it is a big issue. Yeah. But when it's coming from someone like Thandie and the way she's saying it, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, you can't represent dark-skinned people, so why are you getting upset about that? Yeah. You can't control who gets picked for a role unless you're the casting director, so you can't get upset about that. So what exactly are you upset about?
Well, the only thing she could have done is brought some people through. Well, has she brought anyone through?
No.
We don't know a link to anyone.
We don't know, but from what I see and what you see, we haven't seen anyone.
Right, so if anything, build something. If that's how you feel, build something that you feel that you can give back because of your privilege and where you've got to. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can.
Because a lot of, like, I remember, and this is why I really like Zendaya. Not only do I think she's a decent actress, but she's very aware of this. And she made a comment a while ago when I think during this first Spider-Man, she says, look, I am very, because obviously she's been a star since a child with Disney and whatnot. Yeah. And she says, I'm very aware that I am where I am because of the lightness of my skin. And for someone as young as her to get it, I commend her and actually saying it out loud. She goes, I get it. I know. I understand. And,
she doesn't choose how it works.
She doesn't.
You work to your strengths.
Right.
She doesn't choose how it works.
Right. Do you know what I mean? So, you can only do what you can do. And as you perfectly said, bring people through them. Yeah. Like we see Eddie does it a lot. Yeah. Eddie brings enough people through. Eddie Murphy brings
as much as I don't like Kevin Hart.
He brings enough people
through.
So do that. Do that. Do you know what I mean? Bring people, if that's how you feel.
Yeah, give back.
Use your power. Yeah,
to your people.
Yeah.
If you feel that's your people, I identify with you, and I haven't done enough, then do something.
Yeah, man. Don't get upset. Don't go and get barred. Don't start barling.
I ain't barling now. You've got like a 20, 30-year career. Now you're barling.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Not for.
There you go. I mean, listen, I understand she's going through something, and it's great that you feel that you want to give back.
But don't get me wrong, I like Thandie.
Oh, I love Thandie. I think she's a brilliant actress.
She's repping. She's repping.
And she has. But I just think you don't need to be getting upset about stuff you have no control over.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
Thandie, just bell me. Like we talk light skin to light skin. And then we'll, consult with the dark skin, and then we'll come to some sort of level playing field.
Let's get it right. When you go on holiday to a hot country, you become dark skinned.
It is that.
You know what I mean? So
some light skinned people, they're the ones I don't like. They're scared to get dark.
Yeah,
they're putting on factor 1 million.
Yeah. Well.
Some of them don't want to.
Yeah, no, for real.
Honestly,
but again,
even the white people want to get dark.
Even they want to get dark.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? I feel they'll tell you they feel better.
Yeah.
When they got colour.
Yeah. Well, they look better. there's no, it's not a no-brainer that, I mean, listen, the fake tan industry is like hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
You know what? I didn't even think about it like that.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. You
You're
know
right.
what I mean? So,
you're right.
You know,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Work with your strengths and bring, you know, change the game. Don't moan about it. Change it.
That's it, man.
And when you're in that kind of position, you're in Hollywood. She is a Hollywood actress.
I wouldn't say she's quite A-list.
No, she's not A-list, but she's got enough
She's very
clout.
well known. She's got enough clout to be able to do
Everybody
something.
knows who Thandie is.
Yes.
So,
yes. 100%. But anyway, listen,
okay.
you guys,
what do you think?
You've heard what we've had to say. So as Leon said, what do you think about what Thandie Newton has to say? We want to hear from, especially the light skin.
I want to hear from everyone.
I want to hear from everyone.
Everyone. What do you think? What do you think? Are we wrong? Are we chatting fraff?
Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Yes, right. The next topic is about Channing Tatum still wanting to play Gambit. Did you know he was going to play Gambit at one point?
I remember hearing something.
Right.
No. I remember hearing they was going to bring Gambit in.
So they were going to.
He hasn't been.
But he has. So he was on the cusp. Like literally, he was actually the spearheader of the whole Gambit project.
Oh, for real.
And then guess what happened?
Go on.
Disney bought Fox and kiboshed it. So he's a bit still upset about it. So this comes to us via Variety.
Yeah, read, because I got some things to say.
Yeah. In this week's Variety cover story, Channing Tatum talks about the road to co-directing his first movie, Dog, with his longtime producer partner, Reed Carolyn. But before he came up with the idea for the MGM Indie, which opens on February 18th, Tatum and Carolyn spent 4 years developing Gambit. 4 years developing Gambit, a raunchy standalone movie based on the X-Men mutant. The superhero project was set up at 20th Century Fox in 2016, and Tatum and Carolyn had lobbied to share the director's chair. The studio really didn't want us to direct it, Tatum says. They wanted anybody but us, essentially, because we had never directed anything, which is fair enough. Tatum was so in love with the script that he'd written with Carolyn that he was open to letting go of directing. Speaking about it now, Tatum still defends the character as if he were a real person. They will call him flamboyant in his description, Tatum says. I wouldn't. He was just the coolest person. He could pull anything off. Most superheroes, their outfits are
Lateral.
Doesn't have a
Utilitarian.
say that again? Utilitarian. That's it.
Utilitarian.
That's the one. I'm tongue-tied, sorry. Yeah. Batman's got his belt. Gambit's like, no, this shit's just fly, bro. This shit walked down the Paris runway last year. He's just wearing the stuff that's so dope because he loves fashion. That's his take on Gambit. And I like that.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Their version of Gambit resembled the tone of Deadpool and would have been R-rated.
The scruff bag, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to make a romantic comedy superhero movie, Carolyn says. The thesis was the only thing harder than saving the world is making a relationship work. Carolyn notes just how close they got. We were right on the 1 yard line, he says. We had cast a film. We'd opened up a production office. We were on our way to shoot in New Orleans. But after Disney merged with Fox, Gambit became a casualty of the corporate takeover in 2019. Disney had just gotten the X-Men from Fox, Carolyn explains. I think they needed to redesign the X-Men from the ground up. Tatum was devastated when the movie fell apart. Once Gambit went away, I was so traumatized, Tatum says, adding that he swore off watching the Avengers. I shut off my Marvel machine. I haven't been able to see any of the movies. I love that character. It was just so sad. It was like losing a friend because I was so ready to play him. I wish they would reconsider because it's a pretty great project, Carolyn says. Maybe someday. Tatum says he'd still portray the mutant if given the chance. I would love to play Gambit. I don't think we should direct it. I think that was hubris on our part.
Fair enough.
You know what? I want to go first on this one. As you know,
it out, baby.
I'm the superhero head here.
Yeah.
And do you know what? When it, as John Campion said as well, when it first came out that Gambit, Channing Tatum was going to play Gambit, I was a little bit apprehensive. I was like, okay, because just before that, Channing Tatum wasn't known as a great actor.
No.
You know, he had the moves and he had the physique.
A step up and...
Right, because he was a former dancer.
Yeah.
But he didn't strike me as an actor. His acting skills weren't great. But over the years, he has improved.
Yeah.
He has improved to the point where I like seeing him in films. Right? So when they did say that he was going to make Gambit, I was like, okay, it could work. It depends on his take on Gambit. And so it's interesting to hear now that they said they were going to try and look at it like a Deadpool kind of thing, you know? And what he says, I mean, people might think he's being dramatic about not wanting to watch Marvel movies, but I get it. And I tell you why I get it. And I know this guy gets it as well. Like, I so badly wanted to be in the first Black Panther film. And obviously, I never got an audition for it at the time. I wasn't with the agent that I'm with now. If I'd have got an audition for it, I'm quite sure I would have been in that movie at some point. But anyway, that's by the by. But when that movie came out, not that I wasn't going to go watch it, but I was slightly miffed. I ain't going to lie. I was slightly miffed I weren't in it. You know what I mean? And so I get where he's coming from. I get where he's coming from. Like, for instance, if I got cast as, I don't know, Luke Cage, and for whatever reason that didn't happen and they picked someone else, then I probably wouldn't watch any Marvel movies again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I get it.
I get it. So, but would I like to see him... Like, obviously, when Disney bought Fox, Kevin Feige had his own agenda. And he said at that time, because the MCU was in full swing by that point, but he said, I'm still at least 5 years away from bringing in mutants. So that was 2019.
Okay.
That was 2019.
Not too far.
Yeah, it's not. But with that being said, it's a possibility that Kevin Feige could bring in Channing Tatum to play Gambit in the X-Men movie. I don't think Gambit will get a standalone.
No.
Because I don't think that would be part of Kevin Feige's plans. But obviously he will have Gambit in the X-Men. So I think Channing Tatum's already said he'd be willing to play it. So that's a big possibility. I mean, you hearing all of this, what are your thoughts on it, bro?
I think Gambit is really a missed character. Like, because I think there is so much they could do, even standalone, they could do with that character by just bringing him in slowly. Yeah. Just like, get him in slowly. Like, even if it's like a little Netflix something
or Disney Plus.
Oh, well, you know what I mean, Disney Plus, because obviously they own. Yeah. But just, you know, it's the story of Gambit. Because...
He's an interesting character.
He's an interesting, and like he said, you can do that take. You can do the scruff bag. You can do the high flyer, ladies man, mashing up the place. Exactly. You know, like there's so many places, and Gambit is one of the coolest superheroes. Yeah. If you know, for us that grew up on like the X-Men cartoon, he was cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, bring out his ace and just and just, you know, he was cool. Yeah. He was like the pinnacle of cool. I don't know who's as cool as him. What superhero?
Well, Wolverine was out of the X-Men. Wolverine was cool, but Wolverine was cool in a different way.
Yeah, he was like cool a badass biker.
Yeah, kind of like get the F out of my way if I mess you up.
Yeah, and Gambit's more of a suave cool.
Yeah,
like a James Bond cool.
Yeah,
but without the stiffness.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they could have went far.
That's a good analogy. Actually.
Yeah, but for anyone that's ever composed and written any material like we have, and you know you're invested in what you've created. I created this, and it's just not getting off the ground. You know, for those that don't know, we've got a couple scripts. So if you're interested, but so when you believe in your character and you've worked on something, it's hard. And say as actors, you go for an audition, you don't get it, somebody else gets it, then you see the same program that could have been you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say should have been, because it is
What's
what
meant
it
for
is.
you is meant
What's
for
meant
you.
for you is meant for you. But, you know, it's almost like me when I got very close for Lion King.
Tell the people, listen, let's not tell the people about that, man. Tell the people about that.
Well, I auditioned for Lion King. I've done it a couple of times, and I've got very close. I've got down to the last few.
Last two.
And I've seen it before, but I don't want to see it now. And that's now.
Because you got so close.
Because
twice.
Because as an actor, how you feel inside when it's like, I want that, and that's me, and it would ruin the magic that I once felt when I went there. Do you know what I mean? You know what it's like.
Well, bro, it's like how I feel. If we all know, as we've seen with Daredevil, at some point, Luke Cage is going to the MCU.
Yeah.
This is why I'm busting my ass trying to get back in shape, right?
That's it.
If someone else gets that role over me, I ain't going to be happy. I'll be honest. It's not going to be, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. So I get exactly where you're coming from.
That's it. Hashtag Larry for Luke Cage.
Yes, please.
Yeah? We've got to start this. And we've only got 400 and something subscribers. Yeah. Can we start now though? We've got to start the campaign.
Please, come on. Michael Cottle did a bang up job, but Kevin Feige already said he's not going to be using him.
Yeah.
So
hashtag Larry for Luke Cage.
Yes, please.
Look at that. It even rolls off the tongue. Larry, you know, his middle name, you know, Luke Larry Cage. You know, Larry Luke Cage. But so I get it. But I see a lot of these actors really trying to get into this MCU. They're really trying to get in. But you know what? I think they can't have it all. You can't have it all. You know, you've had these people have had super careers, and then what? You get to take the place of someone up and coming. Is what? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like a little bit. Yeah. Like, don't try and steal everything.
Well, this is one thing. One thing I do like about how Marvel cast is that when it comes to the main heroes, they've cast relative unknowns. Do you know what I mean? So if you look, okay, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't an unknown, but he was on the floor. He was a pariah.
Yeah, he might as well have been a new actor. Because he was a risk.
Right. Whereas for people like me and you, Chris Evans wasn't unknown. To the wider public, he was. Right? He wasn't. Chris Hemsworth definitely was an unknown.
Yeah.
I mean,
what about Hugh Jackman?
He
done bits, but that put him on the map.
He was still an unknown.
He was an unknown, wasn't he?
He was still an unknown.
Yeah, he was an unknown.
He was still an unknown.
Yeah.
That's what made him a star.
Yeah.
Who else in the MCU? Although that was
Pratt?
Fox. Although that Chris Pratt as well.
Pratt, relatively unknown.
He was relatively unknown, and then that put him on the map. Do you know what I mean? I would say Batista was a relative unknown in the acting world. Yeah. Obviously not in wrestling, but in the acting world, he was a relative unknown
until then.
Yeah.
That put him on.
Yeah, that put him on the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the one who played what's her name? Nebula, who I really like. Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
That put her on the map. Do you know what I mean? They've gone, even Chadwick, because Chadwick wasn't, we knew Chadwick.
Yeah, but the world didn't know Chadwick.
The world didn't know Chadwick.
Yeah, he was relatively
Do you know what I
unknown.
mean? He was a relative unknown.
Yeah.
So my point is, and one to big up for that is Sarah Haley Finn, who casts all the MCU projects. She always goes for the most talented actor for that role, whether they're known or not. And more than likely goes for the unknown person, as we've seen. Yeah. So big up to her.
Because she wants the look.
Yeah.
She's not going to make it fit. She wants the fit.
Exactly.
So I think if you're out there and you are the fit, then you will get in.
Yeah.
But if you aren't and you're slightly off, she wants to get the fit.
Yeah. And I think, as you said, with the influx of a lot of big name actors now wanting to get into Marvel projects because that's the in thing now, I think with...
They got to balance it.
They got to balance it, but I think Tatum has a good chance of getting in there as Gambit. Oh, yeah. Because when you look at the X-Men, as opposed to other superhero films in the MCU, with the possible exception of maybe Eternals, which I didn't like it anyway. But it's more of an ensemble than a single or two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
As you know, X-Men is more of an ensemble. So I think it would suit their purpose to have a big name in. Listen, we're talking about big name in Channing Tatum, But we don't know who else they're going to cast in the X-Men. There'll probably be a couple of big names that are even bigger than Tatum. So
yeah, probably.
Do you know what I mean? And in that sense, I think the enthusiasm that Tatum has to play this role will get him in there.
Yeah.
I think that will get him in there. Because he's not just going for the paycheck. Unlike, let's not name names, but he's not...
he would do it.
Yeah.
For no paycheck.
Yeah.
I know he would.
He would.
I know he would.
He's that invested in it.
It's a passion.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Yeah.
It's a love of the character that he wants to do.
Exactly. And like you said, like you very well pointed out, imagine they invested years into this character. So he wasn't
wrote a script.
He wrote a script. He developed it. He helped cast the film. He helped get the. He's a producer basically. So he helped get the production going. The production offices. They had production offices. Imagine how close they were.
Ready to press the button.
Right. To principal photography, and then and it was something that they had no control over.
Nope.
No control over.
No, there wasn't a meeting they could have had. There wasn't a palm they could have greased. No, it was over.
It was over.
The dream
over.
Yeah. The show was over.
As I like to say.
The show is over.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I do feel for him, but I do feel like
I feel he deserves.
I think he'd be a good choice
to
play Gambit in an upcoming X-Men film. So I can see.
What about the brother that plays Daredevil?
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. How big was he before Daredevil?
Well, he wasn't. He'd been in lots of stuff because my missus reminded me that him and Henry Cavill, by the way, were in this film with Robert De Niro called Stardust, which I've never seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen Stardust? But yeah, I've seen clips of it and I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
So he'd been in bags of stuff.
Relatively unknown,
Relatively unknown, yeah. Although that was a Netflix thing. That wasn't Sarah Haley film.
No. So I'm just saying these, I do like the way...
because I listen, okay, so we're going off at a tangent, but, because it wasn't Sarah Haley Finn, but you're right, the Netflix ones, I personally never heard of Charlie Cox before Daredevil. I'd never heard of Kirsten Ritter, who played the female Jessica Jones.
Okay.
I never heard of her. I never heard of Michael Coulter before he played Luke Cage.
Never
heard of him.
Nope.
And I'd never heard of Finn Jones, and he didn't do a great job, but there you go. Yeah. Who played Iron Fist. You know what I mean? So they did cast relative unknowns in those spots.
Yeah. I mean, I was a bit late, but even Mahershala Ali, until I knew of him, the name and just bits, but I'd never taken him in as an actor until Luke Cage.
I knew of him because I'd seen Green Book. And he won an Oscar for Green Book.
Okay, I never saw Green Book.
Okay. And he was really good in Green Book.
But that put him on the map.
Green Book put him on the map.
Yeah. Green Book put him on the map. Luke Cage secured it. Because he upstaged everyone in Luke Cage.
He was the best thing in Luke Cage. And when he came out of Luke Cage, the show went downhill from there. Yeah. It just went downhill from there.
But he had to go, didn't he?
Yeah, because he was doing conflict, 2 shows at once. Yeah, and he had something had to give. But
it is what it is. He did what he had to do and get out.
That's it.
You know what I mean? But
that's why I'm looking forward to him in Blade.
Yeah, but that made him a household name, I believe. Ish,
because he was a household. He was kind of a. If you win an Oscar, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he won an Oscar.
Yeah, but then I would say probably amongst comic book fans, he became a household name.
Yeah,
that will be a more fair assessment.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But
man,
Jolie in Eternals.
I've already told you. Why? Not just Jolie, but Salma Hayek as well.
Why?
But it goes to your point about putting names in superhero films, and that it feels like just for the sake of it, not because they are bringing anything, different but valuable to it. So.
Anyway,
let's not go. We could go on all day about this, but listen, what do you think about what Channing Tatum had to say about playing Gambit? Would you like to see him play Gambit in an upcoming X-Men movie? Leave us some comments down below and let us know what you think. Right, guys, our final topic for today is a story about the Jack Reacher author. On Tom Cruise getting cast as Jack Reacher, and he says that I think that the size thing is important. So I've never read the books of Jack Reacher.
No.
But I've watched 1 or 2 movies.
Yeah, that's it.
And when because I like, doing research into a character. And when I found out that it was a book, I wanted to find out more about what the book was about. Because if they stay true to the book. And I found out very quickly that a lot of people were not happy with Tom Cruise being cast as Jack Reacher, pardon me. Because Jack Reacher is supposed to be a very big guy.
Is he really?
He's supposed to be a very big guy. And not only is he supposed to be a very big
Larry
guy.
War Machine big?
Yeah, that kind of big.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only is he supposed to be a big guy, but it's integral to the story.
Right.
In the book, anyway. So this is why a lot of people were not happy with Tom Cruise's casting, because Tom Cruise is a little guy. I mean, they say he's 5'8". I don't even think he's 5'8". Yeah, he's 5'8", maybe in heels.
In heels, yeah. In Simon Cowell heels, yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, this comes to us via IndieWire. And it says, for many fans of Lee Charles' Jack Reacher books, the new Amazon series is a second chance to get the casting right. The series was previously adapted into 2 films starring Tom Cruise as the titular character, 2012's Jack Reacher and its 2016 sequel, Jack Reacher Never Go Back. While those movies were moderately successful, critics felt like Cruise's casting ignored one of the most important aspects of the books. Jack Reacher is known for being a physically imposing character, described in one book as extremely tall, extremely broad, long-armed, and long-legged, with hands the size of dinner plates.
Some Batista stuff.
No matter how well Tom Cruise played the role, the 5'8", see, they say called 5'8", the 5'8" in heels actor was never going to be the right fit in the eyes of some fans.
No.
I think in most fans. The new Amazon series, Reacher, seeks to remedy that by casting the much larger Alan Richardson in the role. Speaking with Metro.co.uk, Lee Childs, who also serves as an executive producer on the show, addressed fans' issues with Cruise. There was criticism from the book fans because they had built up a very clear image of what Reacher should look like, as Childs said. While fans of the books who approached the movie with a pre-existing mental image of Reacher may have objected to Cruise, he said that new fans really enjoyed Cruise's performances. So when it came to cast the show, he wanted to balance the interests of both groups. It just became a different proposition, and I guess the opportunity of thinking, all right, we can get a much bigger guy, so the book fans are going to be happy, he said. But we're also focusing on the non-book readers. What do they need? They need just great entertainment. They don't have the reference already, and so we also had to satisfy them. While Charles said he is a fan of both actors and praised Cruise for dedicating himself to the role, he now understands why some fans took issue with him. I think that the size thing is important into certain parts of the narrative, he said. Reacher has got to scare people, and you can do that so much easier with one glance of this huge animal rather than a normal size actor. Yeah. 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 You haven't watched Jack Reacher.
I've not shown the Jack Reachers.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Tom Cruise's.
Yeah. Have you watched the series though? I haven't watched the series.
I haven't watched the series.
So I'm guessing.
Where's the series at?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I haven't watched it yet.
When did that come out? A while ago.
A while ago.
Okay, now I'll have a look at that.
I might have a look, but here's the thing. We're very familiar with this, but while I agree with the fans, because as I said, I researched this and I realized that his size was integral to the books. The problem is that when you go to make a movie and you want to get the movie greenlit, you need to have a name attached. That's the problem. And Tom Cruise is almost as A-list as you get.
I don't think you get any more A-list.
Yeah, you probably don't get any more A-list than that. You know what I mean?
Action, hero, A-list.
Who's had a career spanning since the 80s. I mean, it's 40-year career.
Never Ending Story or something? He was in that.
Was he in that?
Yeah, one of those. He was in one of those, yeah.
But I mean, even from the Top Gun days, remember we're talking 8 and they just did a sequel to that.
I'm talking before that. He was about 15 in his first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get... When you've got... Listen, if we went to a studio, no-name people like us, and we're like, we've got Tom Cruise attached to this, and they phone up Tom Cruise and he goes, yeah, I'm attached to this. Guess what? We're getting the money for our film. Mm-hmm. They don't even care if Tom Cruise looks like... we could be getting Tom Cruise to play a black guy. They're going to give us the money for the film because it's Tom Cruise. Yep. It's as simple as that. So I get why they had to do that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's right, but it's the way business is done in Hollywood, I'm afraid. Yeah. You know what I mean? You need to have a name attached to a project to get the funding.
Well, you got to remember... I know you already know, but what people need to remember is these are negotiations. So you have to prove to them why this will work. Mm-hmm. Right? It's established. We've got the stories here, and we've got the name. Like, we've got him there, but it's still a risk. Jack Reacher. So if you get Jack Reacher with a relatively unknown, what's the pull?
Yeah.
What's the pull?
Yeah.
I would go to see a film with Tom Cruise because I know what's the last rubbish film he's made. Like rubbish. I'm not talking...
The Mummy wasn't very good.
All right, The Mummy. But that's a long time ago,
Not too long.
How many years ago is that?
But maybe 3 or 4.
Okay. All right, The Mummy. Mummy. All right, with exception of The Mummy. But
he's solid.
He's solid.
Yeah.
More than not.
Yeah.
If you just said, if I said to you, there's a Tom Cruise film, what's it about? I don't know.
I'd be more than interested.
We'd be like, all right, come, let's go and watch it. Say you didn't know nothing, you just knew
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was in it, you'd go. You would go. And that's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
That's what they're banking on. And the thing is, also with that, is I like the fact that anybody has a chance if you've got something. All right, maybe not Tom Cruise, but I'm saying this is a character. He is 5'8", but they cast you because you just feel right. And sometimes you just want people to have an opportunity. It's not always, it's not always set in stone. But I feel like that was a good move to do the Jack Reacher, and then. Right, you're going to do it properly now.
Yeah.
You're going to do it properly now. You're going to fulfill everybody's need and desire for it.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. And what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
It's not... It's a necessary evil of doing business in Hollywood. You know, I mean, not just in Hollywood, in all facets of the acting industry. I mean, if you're over here in London as well, same thing. You know, I mean, you gotta have a name attached. Yeah. You know, if you don't have a name attached, you could have the best. I mean, we've ripped blinders, and while they're interested, we haven't had anything made because we don't have. Listen, if we had Tom Cruise attached to our script,
it's gone tomorrow.
Bruv, we'd be in on set tomorrow.
It would be happening. Tom Cruise ain't here.
Yeah. So
once again, if you're listening, Tom,
yeah, man,
get in contact. You know what I mean?
But yeah, look, I think sometimes it depends on the project that you're doing, right? So another example that we can use where they didn't use the source materials description of the character is Wolverine.
Yeah,
Wolverine is a 5'6" stumpy guy,
Neanderthal looking.
Right,
he's more Neanderthal, isn't he? Yeah,
right. They went and got a 6'2" actor in Hugh Jackman.
Right.
But guess what? It fucking worked.
Yeah.
Sorry to swear.
And see that going back to the point I just made, it doesn't always have to be.
Yeah.
You come in and you've just got that.
Yeah. But I think it's easier going from
small to big.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a little
bit.
It is easier.
It is easier.
Than big to small.
Yeah.
As I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, we won't go into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see
the transition. Yeah,
the transition's a little bit. Whereas in Tom Cruise, I can see both sides of it. Like I said, I can see the side where you say, right, we need a name for this. Tom Cruise is interested. He's going to get us the budget. Let's take Tom Cruise. But I can see the fans' point of view we read these books. If you read the books, you will know that Jack Reacher's size is an integral part of the story. Which isn't the same way around with Wolverine. Wolverine's size is not an integral part of the story.
No.
It's not.
No, it doesn't define what he can do or can't do.
Right, exactly. So this is why they could take a chance with someone like Hugh Jackman, and he put it at the part. No one now wants to see someone else as Wolverine, no matter what. Even if some people talking about Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill, but you know what? Most people are like, no, get Hugh Jackman back.
Yeah, get him back.
Get him back. He's not coming back because he doesn't want to work out no more.
Is that what he said? Bro, he's done that.
He's done. He said he hates working out.
Fair enough.
So I can't blame him. Listen, for a man who hates working out, he got in tremendous shape. So hat off to you, bro.
But as you should, though.
Yeah, of course. But it's a lesson to a lot of other actors who didn't get in shape for their movies. This is a man who doesn't like the gym.
Doesn't like working out, doesn't like discipline.
Right. And yet he got in phenomenal shape. Yeah, to the point where they actually, after Logan, they didn't actually want him to stop playing Wolverine. He said he doesn't want to play it no more because he doesn't want to work out no more.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, So, in that sense, it wasn't integral. So they could play with it. Do you know what I mean? It is integral with Jack Reacher, unfortunately.
Right.
Because Jack Reacher, from what I understand, he only has to look at someone and they're like, I'm not messing with him.
Yeah. You look at Tom Cruise and you think, I've got a chance.
I've got a chance, even if he knows some stuff, you still think,
I've got a chance.
Yeah, I've got a chance.
I'm going to jump on this,
I'm gonna try my luck, You know what I mean? But you see someone like big walking, you like,
think about
and he could not know a thing how to fight.
No.
But you just look at the size and you just think, I'm not gonna
even give it a miss.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's human nature.
So it is,
You know,
it is.
But again, like we said, as actors, we know what needs to be done to secure budgets and to get the green light
Just the way it is.
So that's the bottom line, man. Cruise had to have his name in there for them to get the green light for movies, man. It's as simple as that. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about what we said to enlighten you on this story, and what do you think about Tom Cruise's performance as Jack Reacher? Or what do you think about the other guy who's in the Amazon series as Jack Reacher?
Have you seen it? Because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the Amazon one.
Is it worth watching?
Is it worth? From all accounts, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, from all accounts, it is. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. And with that being said, the show is over. So, you can reach us if you want to holler at us at our various social media handles, especially the Gym Rat Pack Instagram. You can leave some comments down below. Please feel free to holler at us and we will try our best to holler back.
We will holler back. Holler back, yeah.
Yeah. That's a tune. Fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Man. This is Larry Olubami Walt.
Mr. L Rock, Gym Rat Pack, out of the house.
Signing out. See you later.
Bye.